Hey guys, this is Mark, and in this video I want to show you some of the ways you can power up your Red camera. One of the great things about having a cinema camera like this is that you can power it many different ways. You're not limited to just a single battery with one battery compartment and no ways to power externally. So you are unlimited in the ways you can power this up, whether you choose different mounts, sizes, options. There's just so many ways you can power it. So in this video, I want to explain a couple of the ways that I picked and some of the options that maybe you can use to help you get up and running. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about kind of the legacy way that you can power this up. And this is if you're using a first generation DSMC camera. So if you are using a first generation DSMC camera with a side handle like this, you can actually power it through here. So they're fairly small red volt batteries and they will go right in here. I'm not quite sure on how long they run, probably about an hour, hour and a half or so, but they are a great way to power up the camera if you are going to be on the go and you don't want to have a lot of weight or bulk. But the only issue is that Red no longer makes these batteries, so you have to buy them used and they're kind of old. But if you're looking to power up quickly and cheaply, this is a great way to go. But if you're using a second generation DSMC camera or you are not wanting to go off a battery that small, here's some of the other options you can do. So first and the most popular is actually a VMount battery. That's what we've got right here. They can go in any size. This one is 95 watt hours. That way you can actually fly with it. I believe the maximum you can do is 98 watt hours. So this is pretty much almost as big as you can get. I get about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of runtime with this. And if I'm powering my monitor off of this as well and a couple of other accessories like a transmitter, you can probably expect to get maybe an hour and a half. So they don't give you a ton of time, especially on big cameras like this, but they are easy to swap in, on and off, and they work fairly nicely. Now you can also go for a gold mount option. They're pretty much the same thing, it's just the mount type that you prefer. I prefer V-mount because it's more standard across multiple cameras and they're a little bit cheaper. But I have a V-mount plate right here on the back. I did not go for the wireless option. So this is just cheaper. So I have a little bit of a cable hanging off of the side right here. Something I may want to change eventually. But for me, the biggest issue was this top handle right here. I could not get a battery to fit with this handle on here. It took me forever, but I was finally able to find the perfect solution. And I also get a couple of additional benefits. So in order to keep this handle, which I absolutely love and I spent a ton of money on, I had to go ahead and raise this up. But even when it was raised up, it was not forward enough. So luckily I got the DSMC Tactical Top Plate 2.0 from Red that raises the handle up and moves it forward a lot. So as you can see, we barely have enough clearance to get a battery on here. So something you want to keep in mind before you even buy a handle for your camera or before you even get your camera is that you want to keep in mind the handle. This Red handle is not the great option if you're going to be mounting a giant V-mount battery on the back. Red also sells expander modules that you can put on the back, and you can use a full-size Red Volt battery that they do still make, and that stays below the top of the camera, so you can use a handle like this. But Red does also sell smaller metal handles, which I don't like, which is why I got this, but they're short and they won't interfere with a V-mount battery. So keep in mind the handle that you're going to get, you need to make sure it's not going to obstruct the battery. Another option that I have and I do like is a battery belt clip. So I got a belt clip from Red, which will allow me to attach this, put it on my waist, and then power the camera off of a long cable. And that's a great way to keep the weight off of the camera if you're going handheld. So that's another option as well. That's the one way I actually did go with before I got this top plate and the mounting plate and everything like that. I actually hung it from the tripod right here. There's a zip tie on there. And I hung it from the tripod, and that was another way I powered it off. So if you are looking to get the most battery life out of your camera, I definitely recommend V mounts and gold mounts. Red makes their bricks. You can get these types. They're fairly cheap, about $200–300 depending on the technology you want. But for me, this is my best option. If you are looking for a slimmer, lighter profile, but you still have a giant top handle like me, I do recommend using Red's Red Volt batteries, the bigger ones that go on the back, the Red Volt XL. But if you are wanting to go really light and you have a first generation DSMC camera with a side handle, one right in here, that's also a really great option as well. But there you go. I hope this video helped you out in deciding how to power your camera. I know it took me about 2 months after owning this to actually finally get a way to mount a battery on here. It's very confusing, very hard. There's unlimited options you can do. And this video helped you out. Feel free to leave this video a like and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos about this camera. This is Mark with iWillTech128, and I'll see you in the next one.